Oh my, look at you all. Mum, that dress looks stunning. It goes with your eyes. Pippi, you look angelic. Robbie. And Dad. The man we're all here for. The bro with the big 5-0. 50. 50. Did you know that's half a century? And that's not the only interesting fact about the number 50. In 50 BC, Rome had a population of 1 million. 50 is the atomic number of tin. 50 is the smallest number that can be written as the sum of two squares in two distinct ways. In Kabbalah, there are 50 gates of wisdom and 50 gates of impurity. 50 is the name of a London gentleman's club, a Canadian beer, and the number of books in Genesis. It's certainly made its mark on the world, hasn't it? The fifth magic number in nuclear physics, and now my dad's age. It's an age of transition, where one stops trying to fight age, but rather embraces it. Pants suddenly feel more comfortable around your nipples, damn it. You feel like having your tie tucked into your undies gives you a more scholarly air. And it does, Duncan. It does. You find that by mentioning your back, accompanied with a few feeble groans, you can make people do things for you. You find yourself staring at a beer in your hand and wishing that sheer willpower would turn into a nice hot cup of tea with just a hint of milk and 2 sugars. You are entering the comfort years. You've done your hard work, you've slogged it out, and you've earned the right to sit down on your balcony in your favourite chair and complain about youths. 50 has not only brought a milestone in the fact that you are now officially old, but also it is a time when your children have finally started moving away. That becomes rather evident in the fact that you're staring at a pixelated version of my face streamed from the other side of the world. Now, Dad, I know you had established from a very early age that I'd be moving out the day I turned 18, but I still think it's significant, even if my room is now a gym. The nature of our family has changed, but even though we've begun to move away, off on gap years, then uni, then life, there is such love and friendship in our family that no distance can damage that. But I just think it'd be really swell if you could call me every now and again, once a month. The fact that I've been so far away has made me think a lot about when I was back in Northern Ireland. And oh, Dad, there's been no parent quite like you. Who could forget the endless array of solid objects you managed to turn into bumwhackers? I remember the long, thin plastic tubes that you brought home from work. That, along with your Billy Bush dog wooden bumwhacker, were the crowning pieces in your bumwhacker collection. Well, that of course until me and Robbie found where you stashed them and threw them all into the forest, where they rest to this day. May they rot in peace. And then there are those great bumwhacking memories. My personal favourite, the 2001 battle, Dad vs. Robbie. It was a warm summer morning. Robbie had, well, been a cheeky little bastard as per usual. Dad had caught him and told him to bend over. To bend over. That fateful phrase. We knew it came with 2 choices. One was to turn around and be greeted by a long, solid object whacking you in the behind and causing extreme pain. The other option was, of course, to scream and run. No one chose the latter. It was suicide. Well, no one until that fateful day. For that is the day that Robert Elwyn Mills tried to cheat destiny. The 8-year-old boy turned tail and ran. The 42-year-old father followed in pursuit. His face red with rage, spit flying as he yelled, brandishing an intimidatingly large stick. Never has Robbie run that fast, and I can safely say he never will again. I could practically hear the Benny Hill theme tune playing in the background as Robbie dodged those fateful swipes. Then a miracle occurred. 5 minutes into that affair, Dad gave up. Through some miracle, Robbie had lived to fight another day, or at least until Dad found him again, and for that reason Robbie has been living in hiding for the last 8 years. In fact, that is not the only run-in that is worthy of the history books with Dad and Robbie. There is, of course, the notorious game of blind man's bluff. It was our favourite game as kids. Dad would wrap his arm, put a blindfold around his face, and run around the room trying to catch us. as we hid under various pieces of furniture. Well, after one misdirected kick by Robbie and one highly accurate kick by Dad, we never saw that game again. I'll let them tell you the story in full. I just wouldn't do it justice. Corporal punishment aside, our family is nothing short of incredible. The love within it is something that I always treasure, and is something which makes it so hard to be away. To leave a household where you know you're totally safe in who you are, and you know that people love you for it, is something that I'll never appreciate. It's something I never appreciated until I was removed from it. The fact that I took it for granted just shows how natural it was, and is for us. The evenings sitting around the fire, reading books, playing our instruments, the spontaneous outbreaks in song, the family dinners around the table every night, the nerdy congregation around the weekly showing of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the games of tennis, the trips to Diggers sitting around the fire discussing life, the universe, and everything. These are things I just assumed to be normal. They're not. I can quite safely say right now there is little normal about our family. How many families can finish a family dinner with everyone in hysterics, Robbie's face in custard, after a somewhat escalated joke of Dad's about why dogs sniff each other's bums? None. Because we're beautifully strange. Well, we all have our little quirks, and Dad, when it comes to quirks, you are the alpha and the omega. Now, I could go on for hours about said quirks, but I think this particular incident accompanied with the collection of Dad's famous words of wisdom should do it justice. I am, of course, talking about Dad's midlife crisis. You see, if Dad's midlife crisis had a personality, it would be that of a Viet Cong gorilla. It hides away, unseen, unheard, crawling away underground, then BAM! Out it flies, armed with a motorbike and a home theatre system. Now, if you keep your eyes peeled, you may notice, my dear audience, a boat, a motorbike, a boat shed, a tennis court, a home theatre system, a room filled with about every Mac product ever conceived, electric drum kit, 5 sets of scuba gear, and a lawnmower the size of a 5-door hatchback. It was a spectacular and terrifying time. It was also quintessentially Dad. You see, as spontaneous these rampant bursts of capitalistic goodness may have seemed, they were in fact probably thought about for hours on end while lying awake till early hours of the morning. He just slipped his mind to tell us about it. I mustn't complain though, because these did result in some of the happiest moments of my life. I loved coming home from school and Dad, annoyed at humanity and cursing everything fat and smoking cigarettes, summoning me to come play a game of tennis. Well, when I say summoning me, he generally said, "I'm going to go play tennis, I don't suppose you want to join." Now, I'm a naturally lazy and useless person, so my immediate response to that, or any prospect of physical activity for that matter, is a great resounding no. But this man knew me well, and he would stick to his promise and go out and play tennis by himself. Now, if you've tried that, it's actually quite hard. But it worked, because within about 5 minutes I'd be out there, cursing his existence, but enjoying a nice game of tennis. Martyr. This and scuba diving trips have been some of the happiest moments of my life. Happiest moments of my life with you, Dad. We had time to spend together, whether it be profusely sweating over a 5-minute baseline rally or sitting on a boat between dives, sitting in the sun, sipping our chicken noodle soup of it as if it was the greatest cuisine in the world. I think just as our family isn't normal, neither is our relationship. I think we can both safely say that neither of us understands each other. In fact, at times it's mind-boggling. But though we are so different, and it probably frustrates the hell out of each other sometimes, we get along so well because we forgive each other for being so weird. We don't have a normal relationship. Dad didn't bring me up with the mentality of it's my way or the highway. He tried, it didn't work. Rather, when something's wrong, he asked me how to make it better, rather than telling me to make it better. There was a trust rather than expectation in our relationship. We're different, we know it, and we don't try to change that. In many ways, our relationship is a friendship on top of that of a father and son. I wouldn't have it any other way. So Dad, happy 50th. You're getting old. Your hair's falling out, or still falling out, has been for a while. Your kids are taller than you, and the idea of a flight of stairs makes you just want to sit down. But I love you anyway. So let's raise our glasses, or mime glasses, or empty glasses, to Grant. May your years be long, your love be strong, and may you know that you are surrounded by people who love you. Love you, Dad.